Today, I'm going to show you how this CAT framework that I keep talking about, how does it look like in practice and how you can apply it to your content to be more strategic in the way you approach your content, to be more intentful, if that's even a word. Let's jump into it. The first thing that you need to do is figure out what your end goal is. It could be leads. It could be that you want to become a thought leader, right? It could be that you just want to grow followers. So the first thing is figure out what your end goal is. Once you figure that out, then the CAT framework comes into play. Now, what does CAT stand for? One is credibility, right? What results have you achieved in the past? What case studies or testimonials you can leverage? Basically, something that shows people that you're a credible person, that you know what you're talking about, and you have results to back up what you're talking about. The second thing in this framework is authority. There you go. What is authority, you might ask me? Authority is basically giving people a reason to trust you, right? To listen to you. Okay, this person is saying something, but why should I even listen to this person? Authority is your thought leadership out there, and once you have your thought leadership out there, people start looking at you as a thought leader. So once you have become a thought leader, you have authority in your space, in your industry, people will find you worth listening to, right? So the stuff that you say, it's not going to go into oblivion. People are actually going to listen to you. Now, the last thing, and what people usually not pay attention to, is trust. This is absolutely crucial, pivotal, especially if you're a founder who's starting out and you don't have a huge audience to leverage. This is going to be paramount. So that is trust. Trust is basically giving people a reason to be relatable to them, right? People often confuse trust with content that shows your life's intimate details. That's not personal content, right? With trust building content or personal content, you just have to provide enough context to the people, to the audience, so they can feel relatable to you. It doesn't mean share your life's intimate secrets. Now that we have laid out this framework, how do we apply this? So let's say you are somebody who wants to generate leads and leads only. In that case, the more heavier preference that you're going to give to is credibility. Credibility is going to be case studies, results, testimonials, conversion pieces that you can use. So for example, you have a case study, right? I have achieved 10x return on ad spend for a client. That is a result, which is amazing. But what most people, again, make a mistake is they stop at the result. They don't show the how or the why behind it. That is super important. So how would you structure this as a post? Is I have achieved a 10x return on ad spend for a client. This is how I did it. As simple as that. And then you basically break down your process. So this is going to boost your credibility. It's going to show people that you have actually achieved results in the past, and they can achieve results via you and your expertise as well. Now, another thing is testimonial, right? John helped me overcome my organic content woes, let's say. Again, this is great as a testimonial. People are going to be like, wow, X has achieved great results because of John. But what people actually want to see, and what people or founders, let's say, get wrong on LinkedIn, is they don't show the BTS behind it, like the behind the scenes. That is super important. So how would you structure this as a post? John helped me overcome my organic content woes. That is a testimonial. Me as John, I'm going to break this down. I knew, let's say, Adam was suffering with X issue for Y months. Today, he has achieved Z through my framework. Now, what is your framework? How have you achieved this transformation for Adam? Show it. Show it to people, write about it, use a graphic, use a video, whatever it is, but break down the process, because only then people who have the same problem, they're going to relate themselves to it, and they'll be like, you know what, I'm going through the exact same problem that Adam was going through. I want John to help me too, because the way he solved it for Adam, I really liked it and I want to do it. So that is another way that you can leverage, let's say, a case study or a testimonial. Always focus on the result, but then focus more on the process behind it. So that is how you can build credibility, showing results that you achieved in the past. Authority is thought leadership. What insights do I hold that are different from the industry? That is not a general thought leadership that I'm picking out from, but it is actually stuff that is unique to me, my unique point of view on things, right? My take on industry trends, my views that are against the status quo or that are for the status quo. For example, agencies in 2024 need to stop worrying about acquisition. They need to worry about retention instead. Now, that is a take that some might agree with, some might not agree with, but the main thing that matters here is what is your thought leadership behind this. So once you put out opinions like that, strong opinions out there, and stop playing it safe, people are going to respect you. It's a part of the game, right? People are going to respect you. Some are not going to respect you, and that's completely fine. But your thought leadership out there is going to create an authority persona around you. People are going to look at you as a thought leader, which is what you want. This is how you stand out. Now, you might ask me, okay, then what about trust? How do I make personal content? So this is where a founder's story comes into play. And it's so important because your story is your unique selling point, not your services, because a lot of other people in the space are probably offering the same services as you are. But your story of how you became a founder. For example, you were a failure as an entrepreneur twice in the past 5 years. You tried, you failed. You tried, you failed. But eventually, you built a business that now is thriving and makes 7 figures a year, which is great, right? So how would you frame that as a post? I failed twice as an entrepreneur. I failed twice or 2x as an entrepreneur. Today, I run a successful 7-figure business. Here's my story. So now somebody wants to be an entrepreneur, somebody who aspires to be an entrepreneur. When they read this, they're going to feel relatable, right? They're like, you know what? I'm failing right now, but it doesn't mean that I always fail, because look at this guy. He's failed twice, but he didn't give up. He actually did something. He's going to tell me now in his story that made him run a successful 7-figure business. So now, using your story, you're going to relate to other people. They're going to see how relentless you were, how strong of a resilient person you were, right? And that is why you're successful. So people are going to relate to you. You're going to build trust with your audience. So they will start looking up to you even, right? Because you have a story that other people can relate to. So this is just another example of how you can use the trust pillar. So using this framework, CAT framework, and whether you want leads or you want to become a thought leader or you want to just build a following, this will take different shapes and forms. But if you want to actually have a balanced person brand as a founder, I've used this for 30 plus founder brands in the past, and it has worked all the time, right? You just have to be patient, give it time, trust the process, put the reps in, and it's going to work.